Welcome everyone, it's Vapor Drakomar, and I'm going to tell you a story about a champion that nearly met a very unfortunate end. Now, this champion is Visix the Unbowed. I nearly straight up fed Visix. I nearly fed this very sexy lady because I thought she was so weak and worthless that she was food. Same with the other account. I literally thought she was garbage. And now I'm getting reports she can solo the bottom of Dark Elves faction crypt, among other things, and is insane in Fire Knight. Like, they trash talked her so much that I thought she wasn't even worth keeping at all. Like, just feed her and use her like these other garbage champions. But no, apparently she's still decent. I mean, she's got some tepid reviews, but none of them are red except for the clan boss. I mean, she's not as bad as everyone tells you that she is. She's still half decent, you know? I don't get why she's hated so much. Even in the reviews, the hate that they have for her in the reviews is unwarranted, you know? Because I nearly fed her. That's the scary part. I nearly fed that champ. Anyway, we're going to do some Gryffin. Gryffin is pretty scary. I'm thinking Godseeker might be good here. See. See, I have a problem. Should I use Kale or Alhain for this? Since most of you are not stupid, you would have picked Kale, so I mean, there is a Rhazin here, but let's be frank. I don't want to use Rhazin into Spirit Affinity. I mean, I could try it, but it's a negative affinity. This is a negative affinity for Rhazin. So, I don't like to pick. Now, we're going to want to target the Dracomorphs in the front. I'm saving my cleanse for a reason. Because the boss is really bad. And I have revivers anyway. See, I have the heal there. So we don't need to panic. I will be showing Rhazin and other stuff. We might even put him in here, but mainly the main reason I don't put him in here is because putting Rhazin doesn't do that well into negative affinity. And this is a negative affinity matchup. So, yeah. Now, Godseeker is very good for a number of reasons for this. She acts as a backup to, Syl. Deacon is useless here, almost, because the reason the Deacon is useless here is because you actually cannot, and I repeat, you cannot turn meter control this boss. You cannot. Also, putting Drexler in here is another bad idea. Because he's a negative affinity and will die easier to this boss. We're gonna want to put increase attack buff on our champs at all times. That heal. Try to keep her healthy. But she's there for a reason. She's there to, as a backup reviver, she can revive herself once, but then her passive kicks in. So there we go. Pretty wicked. Okay, where we got? What do we got? Yeah, we're going to climb up further because I also want these gems and whatever's in here. We are going to farm the Gryffin as well. But yeah, Godseeker is really nice in as a reviver. I may start using her instead of Syl more often. Because again, Godseeker is a really nice revive. Like, really nice. Like, really posh. If you need a reviver that's really talented in a specific area, Godseeker does the job very nicely. I may be helping her more soon. Next Clan v Clan will be booking her more. The thing is, Armiger might be good here, actually, instead of Rhazin. Because, I'm gonna be frank with you. Having a block revive here is, a very good idea. Let me put it that way. Now, time compression works in most areas of the Doom Tower. It's just, against Gryffin, you want to avoid going time compression. Because if you go time compression into Gryffin, you'll have a very bad time. I'm not saying... Now, generally speaking, you're really going to want to target these Hakorn Smash Lords because they will mess your day up in some very visceral ways. Get the Rotos. Oh, always fear Rotos. Do not underestimate Rotos. But yeah, I nearly killed Visix. Even though she is an incredibly valuable champion. I nearly killed her. So... Okay, number one priority. See that Raglan in the back? It's not an accident that I'm targeting her. Because if I don't take Raglan out, we are going to be in a heap of trouble. Raglan followed by Rotos. The rest are just cheese. And with that, we can just get a point-blank chicken. See, the thing is, Visix is actually a very good champion. But they made her sound so bad, I nearly fed her. So that's the tragic story of Visix. I nearly murdered her over people telling me how bad she is. I don't know where her bad rap came from, but it's not deserved. It really isn't. Yes, Visix the Unbowed needs a buff. Sure. But don't trash talk her to the point where it's like, you know, do I feed this champ? I'm like, nah, she's a legendary. Don't feed her. Like, where did the hate come from for that champ? I don't understand. Is it that they don't like that she's a lady? That can't be it, because Arbiter is a lady, and she has great previews. What made Visix so hated? I don't understand. I mean, do buff her, though, because I want people to like Visix again. I don't understand. Why the hate? Like, what is so hated other than that she's not completely overpowered? Like, even then, I'm not even 100% sure she's not overpowered, because she can solo High Elf Faction Wars Stage 21 Crypt. That's pretty dang strong, if I do say so myself. That's pretty dang strong. It's another thing. Why do people hate Rhazin? I don't know. Rhazin is such an awesome character. Like, seriously. Where are we at? Rhazin's great. Drexstar's great. I don't know why more people don't use him. He is amazing, Drexstar. Amazing fusion. Deacon's great. We don't even... you guys don't even need to... Do I really need to explain why Deacon is great? Do I really need to explain that? Because if I do, that is sad. That is sad if I have to explain why Deacon's amazing. Kale's decent. I am thinking of building a copy of him. But not before building other champs, because there's a lot of other champs, including Visix, that I have been completely ignoring. And it's a very sad thing. Visix is probably the most tragic of the bunch, because I haven't even bothered to level her to 50 out of the hate they've given her. Yeah, that's right. I didn't even level her to 50. So you can imagine the shock I got when I realized, after seeing her, that she can solo Faction 21 Crypts and do crazy Fire Knight stuff. You can see, like, my disappointment that I underrated the living hell out of that character. Yeah, so we also have some more keys, so we'll be able to go into those and get close to my PB. My PB is right around here. Unfortunately, the top of the tower is way the heck up there. True story. Now, Syl, although a nice champion, don't get me wrong, and she's actually very nice to look at, I have some champions that are better than her, that I will be using in this tower. And one of them that I rate better than Syl is Godseeker. Godseeker in Neri is bloody incredible. Now, why is she incredible? Very low cooldown. Revive that can be booked to be even lower cooldown, which in some advanced content is nothing short of a miracle. So that's one of the reasons why Godseeker, I do not regret 6-starring Godseeker, because she's that good. Like, her gear right now isn't even that good, but it doesn't matter. She's still almost irreplaceably good in a lot of content. Like, almost irreplaceably good. Because she has that very low cooldown revive plus boost turn meter. That, it allows me to do things that I normally would never be able to do because I don't own a Duchess. I have Godseeker. I don't have a Duchess. And Godseeker is like my Duchess substitute. Like, if I eventually, whenever I get a Duchess, because let me be frank, I am not quitting Raid at all in any sense anytime soon, especially when Duchess is out there somewhere. I'm going to keep playing until I at least get Duchess and possibly Arbiter if I can manage to get to gold. Like, I'm serious. I am going to persist until that point. But to be honest, I'm probably going to persist beyond that point because I want to maintain my clan. Okay, I worked so hard to make this clan work that I am not going to abandon it anytime soon. Because I am proud that I built this clan and everything. So, yeah. Gotta keep climbing. Defense. You know, Visix could be useful here one day. And Godseeker. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. And I'll be leveling up Rhazin's gear, obviously. I'm gonna focus the Rhazin first because Rhazin is obviously a threat, even though he's on my team. I don't want the enemy team's Rhazin to get anywhere. It's a pity I do not own Norog, but if Norog was a permanent fusion, you know, I wish Norog was a permanent fusion. I would do it 100%. If Norog was a permanent fusion, I would do it. Because Norog deserves some love, man. Like, really. Why does Norog not have more love? He's an amazing champion. I don't understand it. I don't. And here's the thing. I even use Rhazin in my arena teams. That's the crazy part. I even use him there. Like, I use him a lot. And if I can get him better gear one day, I could have him as my sole, almost my sole arena nuker into gold. Unfortunately, I can't use Deacon here. Because if I could use Deacon here, as you all know, I would. Now, Godseeker, anyone who decreases buff duration would be useful here. I only use Godseeker here because I want a spare reviver and I guess reduce buffs, but the spare reviver, because of how devastating these waves are, Because I want to emphasize Drexstar here obviously is very useful. And anyone can get Drexstar. It's just really hard to get him because to get him the non-pay-to-win method, I'm going to be honest, to get him the non-pay-to-win method, like the non-shard method, is actually really, really painfully difficult. Because you have to farm for 100 days straight. That's the thing. You have to farm Tag Arena a bare minimum of 100 days. So, like, not everyone's going to want to do that. And I understand. But for those who are willing to go the distance, anyone can get him. I say anyone willing to literally anyone willing to love Drexstar enough to farm for 100 days or more on Tag Arena can get him. And that's a fact. I mean, he's really valuable. He can probably solo most Doom Tower bosses. He's great in Arena. He's great in Faction Wars. He can kill any boss in the game, although I don't recommend putting him against Gryffin because he's negative affinity. Other than things that are negative affinity like Gryffin, certain Arena, he's really good. Drexstar is quality. Now, getting the right gear for him is a pain in the butt, but eventually I'll get better gear for him, and he'll be able to do even more. He can solo Ice Golem 25, by the way, and is really useful in high-level Spider. So these are all the benefits of Drexstar. He is really nice. Do that. Get a provoke. We're going to want to target this Valkyrie in the back here. If we can. Because this Valkyrie is a serious, serious issue. Now, I'm going to save the other ability. The Valkyrie is most important to kill because the Valkyrie is what makes their entire squad basically run. Yeah. Hopefully this will help me get Archmage Helmet. Hopefully. If you're wondering how long it took me to build this squad, the answer is yes, a very long time. Like, we're talking over a year. But you can still do it free to play. I did this free to play, but it took me a year. Literally a year. More than a year. And I still have to try to get Akot the Seared. We're getting close to hatching Helmet, though. We're getting close. I've heard he's a great nuker. Oh no, they have Mashald. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Oh my god. Ugh. I'm sorry, Mashald scares the living hell out of me. I hope you understand why. I hope you understand why, alright? first things first, I'm going for the back line. For obvious reasons. I'm going for the back line first, because the back line is the biggest problem, by far. Yeah, removing that buff is going to be really nice. These guys are really awful. Block buffs is usually very nice versus these enemies. As is constant decreased defense. You know? So yeah, turn meter controlling these guys is going to be a must. Gonna go for the Warwicks in the front. Because you don't want... If you want to have a good run of this, you do not want those Warwicks getting a turn. Because those guys will mess you up. Yeah, we made it. I may need Gnarlhorn for this, but I'm gonna try it without. Because Mortu is an extremely dangerous enemy. Okay, we had a stun on him. There's a reason I'm going for him straight away. Is because he's a negative affinity and he has a peril. And peril is extremely dangerous because I can't revive people that get killed by it. So, generally speaking, you're really not going to want that guy to live. If you can. No, 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 no. This is bad. This is bad. That's what I meant by it's bad. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're going to throw in 2 Magic Affinity Nukers, because my main strategy here is to try to deal with Mortu in as fast a time as possible by... Okay. That's my main objective here. I do not like their Vergumcar. Okay, clearly this strategy doesn't work. Okay. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to put Gnarlhorn in here. Maybe. because I don't need the Mortus. There's a reason I'm going for this strategy. Because I don't see how else I keep him under control long enough. That we kill him. Otherwise. Because sometimes I need someone that they'll just, you know, gravitate to. And that, see, because usually when there's one more two, there's more. And I want to have the provoke as a backup. We got some sick gems on this floor. Not bad. The coronars are very annoying. That's even more annoying, and I did not even calculate that in my head. Okay, we're targeting the stinking Hegemon champ that even whales don't get. Even whales have trouble getting that champ. That's the tragic thing about Hegemon. He is so difficult to get that even pay-to-win players almost can't get him. That is how tragically difficult it is to get Hegemon. And whoever this lady is over here, she is a real pain in my butt. Because regenning all of that health is really not fair or nice. And the game has never given me her. Figures. Yeah, you're gonna want to provoke. I'm using Gnarlhorn for a reason. He's like a form of control, if you will. Okay, we can put him here. I'm actually thanking Ugo, because at this rate, the amount of buffs that are going to come out on them is nothing short of absurd. And I would rather reduce the buffs because it's going to suck having to fight a whole bunch of Valkyries with their buffs up, or archmages, or any of this other shenanigans. Okay. Lifesteal. Definitely gonna want turn meter control in here, because you do not want them to have excessive turns. Because the problem is they have Foley. And Foley is like one of the best pay-to-win block revives in the game. So even if I were to have Godseeker and Neri revive, like, she can't revive. You cannot revive past block revive. Block revive is final. So that's why... That is why I do not want... I do not want them getting a turn pat. Like, I do not want them to get excessive turns, because block revive is final. It's not like, oh, it's temporary. No, it's permanent. Permanent buff. And that's why, and there's at least 2 of them in there. So generally speaking, you do not want them to get that ability off in any regard. Because the second they do, whoever gets hit by that, like, you keep getting whittled down. Because I know what it feels like to get hit by a lot of block revive. I mean, I have a block revive champion myself, but the only one that I really have on this specific account, I'll put 100 Magma Dragon. Alright. So what we're gonna do, after doing some arena, you're like, why do arena, Vaporsmith? Is arena a waste of my time? Answer is no. Now you might ask, why no? Well, when you're doing arena, every time you fight arena battles, you gain experience in your Great Hall. And there's a reason I'm going for the Deacon strategy. Is the Deacon strategy is usually the most consistent. I might have to use Cold Heart for this. Hopefully not. Okay, thank God. I thought I might have to use Cold Heart. You're like, Cold Heart, why Cold Heart? Reduces his healing. Reducing his healing, because he heals for a lot. Like a lot. Now, I need to do this because I need enough bars to continuously buy rare books, energy fuel, and rare books, energy fuel, and other supplies. Because one can get a lot of that with this. Shards, energy fuel. This mode is highly useful for that. So that's why, especially mid-game, when like books and stuff are in rare supply, this is the fastest way to get them. Now I've got to remember not to freeze the Dark Elhain. Because if I do that, I'm in for a world of hurt. Always have to have that presence of mind when around a Dark Elhain. Don't try to freeze the Dark Elhain. You will hate your life. Another thing that's really annoying about Doom Priest is you cannot keep a debuff on her. I'm gonna put Deacon there. And some magic affinity nukers. Because since he's spirit affinity, he's gonna be weak to it. I'm pretty sure Rhazin can handle this. Like so. Perfect. I'm hoping she isn't built to one-shot, but she might. One-shot. Okay. She just missed it. Because Shaman is underrated, in my opinion. Like, in terms of her power. She's actually kind of powerful, but everyone thinks of her as garbage. Very similar to Visix. Very similar to Visix. And it's sad. It's really sad. I'm sorry, but it's really sad that people don't care about Visix. All right, so we can do a couple teams here. I'm actually going to attempt Rhazin, as suicidal as that sounds, into this, and we'll see what happens. There is a actual reason, though, why I do not put Deacon in here. Because Deacon does not work versus this boss. So that's why I don't bother. So yeah, Deacon and Rhazin are going to be the main DPS here. I could also try Directstar as a DPS. Because yeah, Rhazin, like, these are underrated champs. I can't emphasize this enough. These are underrated champions. Like, a lot of champions in this game are underrated. And one of them... Okay, the main reason I'm focusing the Dracos is because the Dracos have a lot of burst damage. And the burst damage is going to be very painful. Now, while Rhazin has burst damage, Rhazin has burst damage. He's not, in AI especially, he's not as immediate of a threat as the, Okay, he resisted. You always want to keep that increase attack up. As you can see, Rhazin is not great versus this boss. Now, Brexstar, on the other hand, might be better versus this boss. Because Drexstar will apply HP burn. And that is good, obviously, versus this boss. Yeah, we are going to want to remove that debuff. That's why Spirit Host is there. Spirit Host is there to stop us from getting annihilated. That is why Spirit Host is there. Oh, right, you can't turn meter decrease him. Yeah. It's one of the reasons also that Rhazin is not good in here is because you can't turn meter decrease. You can increase your own attack. I'm pretty sure Aethel would be not terrible in here. Okay. Res. One thing that's useful about having multiple revivers in here. We might be in trouble, but I will see what I can do. Okay. At least Syl is well geared enough to... Alright, edit team. Take him out. Shove Drexstar in his place. Alright, so we're gonna go cut this episode off here. After I beat Gryffin, obviously. And next time, we're gonna be climbing further up the Doom Tower. In hopes of defeating the Magma Dragon and maybe getting further. Godseeker is obviously going to be absolutely instrumental in fighting the higher floors of this whole debacle. The reason... See, Rhazin will work in here, but only just, and only if I give him better accuracy and gear, and even then, he's not optimal versus Gryffin. He's not. Like, he's okay, but he's not optimal. Drexstar is not exactly optimal either, but he's more optimal because he's got that HP burn. Because decreasing the turn meter of this boss does not work. Burning him does. Burning him does work. See? It works. Don't try this versus Magma Dragon. Magma Dragon has its own rules. Giant Slayer procs doing his work here. See, we can reduce the clear time by having permanent burns on him. I mean, this is a free-to-play team, but eventually people won't be able to get Ninja. But Drexstar is still available. Godseeker is available if you're lucky as an epic. Spirit Host is available everywhere, and Spirit Host is incredibly useful to cleanse unwanted debuffs and to increase your attack. Anyone can get Syl. She's pretty good in Doom Tower. Of course, Godseeker can be replaced with anyone with a prolific revive. If you have a Duchess, go for it. Yeah, we'll leave it off at there.